The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio, here we go, hey, you see Missy K, hey, you see Missy K, her beauty and passion, talk music, passion, loose lips, red cup, love Joe, she's always on Facebook, Instagram, taking calls on the telephone, sexy if you say so, it's the Missy K Show.
Everyone, and welcome to the Missy K's Loose Lips radio show. I am your host, Lady D's. The boss, Missy K, is out playing around.
In the rain.
Must be nice.
In the rain.
But we have two qualified co-hosts tonight. And to my left, we have the beautiful, the one and only Dark Chocolate.
Hey, Lala. How are you guys?
And then tonight, we have a really fun show for you. We have one of the funniest ladies I've ever met sharing the stage with us tonight.
Yes.
The one and only Miss Carly B.
It's your girl, happily divorced Carly Carr, comedian.
So we thank you guys for joining us tonight. We hope that you enjoy the show tonight. And so we're going to get started because we need plenty of time for her.
Yes.
yes.
We need to find out, what's on everyone's lips.
We like how we said that together. Well, oh gosh. First of all, it is raining. I need everyone to be careful. You see, I got my little scarf and my little jacket.
Oh, is that that's what it is?
Yes, it's like a winter storm out there, damn it. It's so freaking cold.
She ain't sexy tonight.
Please. No, I am.
She's cute, but she's not sexy.
It's too damn cold. Anyway, okay, so everybody knows Cardi B and Offset have announced their breakup. You know who that is? Mm-hmm. Okay, yes, they have a baby. They were only married for a year. The thing is, there's a young lady who goes on TMZ crying.
What?
Yes, because Offset wanted to have a threesome, and it didn't include his wife.
Wow.
So the young lady, yes, goes on TMZ crying, I'm so sorry for breaking up a happy home. Really?
Well, how does she know that she was part of the equation of them breaking up?
I don't know. She probably just wants some airtime. That's what I think. Airtime. My thing is, why is he texting anybody trying to get a threesome when you got the biggest freak of the week?
But how you have a threesome
maybe that's
without
not his
your wife?
freak.
That's just you cheating with two other bros. I'm just saying, that's not a threesome. You just doing something on the side.
Right. And he could have included her because she with it. Just, I think the day before she was on stage flaunting her titties and her ass.
Well, maybe wasn't a different kind of freak.
I don't know. I don't know.
All freaks are not for, they're not cookie
He
cutters.
just wanted to sleep with two other women. Straight up. I'm sorry.
But
That's
New
how I
one.
see it.
Different.
He just wanted to sleep with two other women.
But see, I don't understand when the woman you with is open to that. So what is the point of including other people and not telling your woman or your wife about it?
But again, because he wanted something totally different.
Okay, so it's saying that women
I'm not
who
saying
are
it's
freaks.
okay.
No, I'm not saying that it's okay. Mm-hmm. You can be the biggest freak. You can give everything to your man, but he will still try to find something different.
They're going to want what they
freakier.
want. Yeah, you can't satisfy everybody. I promise you can be everything you ever thought he wanted. The minute he get it, he want one more thing. I'm just talking to you.
There are freaks, and then there are nasty freaks, then there are finessing freaks. They're all kind of freaks.
Well, tell me about your freak. No,
Don't you worry about that. We got that on lockdown.
Right. She said the nasty freak. Ooh, there's levels to this shit, I guess. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we'll keep on going.
Yes, ma'am.
Hopefully they get back together because they do have a little baby. She's not even 1 yet. They haven't even been married 2 years.
I don't know. I wouldn't encourage that. This might be her chance to get out while she can. I'm just saying, to get out of jail free card, this is the first sign that he did it once. I'm sure he'll do it again. This time he'll just be a little more craftier with it. That's even worse. You just got married and now you want a threesome, but I'm not included. What kind of math is that?
Hey.
Is that new math?
That's the new
2018. Holla at you, girl. I'm going to need that 1988 math. I'm going to need that 88 math. I'm going to need you to run me that 88 math.
Everybody not doing the threesome without their spouses. Next time, talk to her. Maybe she will be including everyone else that you want.
Yeah, I'm almost sure she would have been with it. I'm almost sure. Yeah, I'm almost sure.
She definitely would have been. Shit. Anyway, moving along. Kareem Hunt. I feel like every month we're talking about a man being abusive to a woman.
Right.
Every month. This particular time, this football player, young football player, and I think he's with the Reds.
Kansas City
and
Chiefs.
Was doing really
it's
doing
an understatement. The height of his career.
Well.
Number 3.
Blessed.
Yes, and when it happened, which it happened in February, they investigated. They didn't press charges. So I guess there's some video that leaked out by.
Right.
And then that's when he started to really investigate. And this wasn't his second incident, but there were a couple of women. She was 19, and they were going to his hotel room. And I think he wanted her to do some freaky stuff that we was talking about earlier, and she declined. So he put her out. So I guess she was pissed and knocking at the door trying to get back in.
Instead of taking your butt on home.
Instead of just went home, and I guess there were other people in the room. So when he came out, and they're going back and forth, and you can see it on the video. And he pushes her, but she comes up to him and hits him in the face. You see where she hits him in the face. So then that's when he gets all crazy or whatever. So as they're trying to hold him back, you see him break loose and 2 people fell against the wall. So I guess it was a guy who was trying to help him and the girl. Right. But what he did was, instead of him just walking away, going back in the room, they were out, he went back up and kicked her. Mm-hmm. And I think that was the ending of why they said, okay, yeah, we're going to have to do
because
something
the video would have proved him out that that she kept coming at him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, but he had to take it a step further. You don't never get so far out there that you don't remember that you got a lot to freaking lose.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm the first one that does not condone domestic violence, not even a little bit.
Right.
But I also don't go around hitting men. That's what my brothers are for, in the entire name of Jesus. You feel me? And secondly, I think it's just horrific that, how could you not think about your football career? I'm just saying. You could have hired somebody to smack her around. I'm just talking to you. You could have hollered at your girl for $450. I'd have threw her down the steps. Right. But I'm just saying. Right. You going to put your whole career, a dream career that most talented athletes don't even get to over abroad that you beat up? Right. Come on. Yeah. So in that aspect, I don't like to see any man, especially our men, lose that kind of control. I hate to see that. You just threw away a whole.
I think he kind of went over the top when he kicked her.
Yep.
Absolutely.
When she was down.
And that's because that's all everybody's been talking about
is the kick. But not even some other guy was like, well, what would you have done if it was your daughter? And I'm like, why would my daughter be at a hotel room with these different men?
Right.
18, and even if she's of age, you already know the history. This is too.
Well, they just following the money. I'm just saying everything is about money. Yes.
So it's like, where are the men that's telling them, look, stay away from this? And even the moms, because what's his name? Ray Rice, and this was his wife. He did the same thing, but he really beat his wife up, and she was like, "No, I forgive him. It's okay." So he's now trying to help him. So it's a lot of athletes trying to help him say, no, you're going to get back into football. You need to just take time. But the help, I always say this, there is never any help for these men. This problem didn't just happen. Right. It stemmed from somewhere else, but no one is ever offering these men help.
And let me tell you, another thing, too, as it shows how stupid and out of control he is or was. Right. Everybody knows wherever the heck you go. Their videos, especially in
nowadays.
A freaking hotel,
right?
Definitely,
right. They got to cover themselves.
That part,
you can bet every inch of it is covered by some type of camera.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
That was stupid.
Do you think he was drinking or had any drugs that have to do with it? Because when you're drinking, and
I don't know. Sometimes I think when people get a specific amount of money, they think they're exempt from the rest of the laws that the rest of us aren't. And I always pray that, God, if I'm ever blessed with any kind of money, don't let me just get that stupid blanket over me. Because if anything, that's when you should be more careful than ever. I promise you, Lord, throw me the millions. Watch Carly shine. I'm going to do everything you said. If I got to drink communion wine Thursdays, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I sure will. But I sure wouldn't act a fool. I'll never understand that. I won't.
Not even if you didn't have the money, it's because you're a young black man.
Right.
The target is already on
but I'm
you.
just saying you have an opportunity to do so much more. Definitely. You have an opportunity to help so many people. Your whole family, your whole life, you're living a dream. So, you can throw it all away because what?
Right.
Abroad you push. Come on.
That's the thing.
I'm just saying. Of course, the other element to that, she was a white girl.
Sitting there waiting.
No, that's real talk.
Complaining.
Wow.
Yep.
That's real talk.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it's just not worth it.
Right.
Stay away from.
And he really asked for it.
Yeah, he did.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
OJ ain't told us nothing.
But white girls don't do that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, of course not.
No.
That's us. Yeah, that's all us.
That would be another story on another segment. Continuing on. Young lady Olivia Carly Colbreth. Remember 3 years ago, she was driving 100 miles an hour under the influence and killed 6 people, including her sister, her best friend, which was the godmother to her son, because she was intoxicated. She just went to trial, and after 2 years, they are sentencing her to 30 years to life for killing those people. The crazy thing is, this was not the first time, nor was it the second time. It was the third time.
That's why she got
So I'm surprised she didn't get more time than that. Right. I mean, I'm just saying she didn't learn anything
at all.
And then that's how God does I'm going to teach you a lesson. Oh, you're not going to listen?
I remember that.
Yeah, that's awful.
Definitely. And she was, right now, she was what, 23 when it happened? 23. Now, she had just received her license back. And before she received her license back, the attorney that she was working for previously said that if this happens again, you're going to get murdered. And that's exactly what happened. And I'm concerned with the people that were in the car with her. Why do people get in the car with people have been drinking?
I've never understood that. I mean,
no.
Yeah, if you're a good friend of mine, I literally will take your keys. Right. But I have seen people that I just know casually all leave together and laugh, and I'm like, oh, nobody's gonna call Lyft, Uber, leave your keys, nothing, and people still do it all the time. We see these examples every single day. The most horrific stories: a baby was killed, an innocent mother was killed. Exactly. We see them every day, and people still get drunk when they go out and drive, and it's no reason to now. It's no reason to.
I have this problem, and it happened. And the crazy thing is that people that are doing the drinking and killing, nothing ever happens to them.
Right. Well, that is what happens to them. They have to live with it. I think that is what happens to them. I couldn't imagine killing 6 people, including my sister, because I was drunk.
Right.
I don't know what I would be like mentally. You can put me in jail, but I can imagine I'd be a basket case. That's a lot. It's a lot to live with my mother's natural death as a senior citizen.
Yeah. Right.
Let alone something horrific like that. I don't know how she's surviving. She should be on suicide watch, I would think.
Yeah.
Or
not.
Yeah.
What's your question, baby girl?
The question of the day is... Question me on my questions. Okay.
See,
the question of the day.
She did tell us. She told
you. Okay, so no. I'm being good. Okay, so you're dating and you have this man who does everything it takes to get you. Wine and dine you, pay for days, open the door, and as soon as he gets you, some of the things that he started doing to get you stops. Is that someone that just loves the fact of chasing, the fact of the chase, and then that's it? So I want to know, what is that? What goes through a man's mind after he does what he have to do, whining and dining, or even have the sex, and some don't have the sex? Why do they stop communicating or end everything as far as with the woman? So that's the question of the day. You can find me. I am Lala on Missy K. Loose Slip Radio Show on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We also have this group, like I always talk about, where we get so nasty. But yes, up next is the beautiful Lady D with Kissable Nights and Dating After 50.
We're going to take a break. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
Yes.
All right.
Right on Rosecrans. Yeah, stop at the store. Gangsta G and KK. Right there on Camp. See, I'm a code. But you a true. Here, take a picture, load it up and let them know that you fuck with your. That's right. We be smoking area code. 323. Y'all be putting shit up your nose. On me, I guess I'm too old school. Like when that be home soon. I'm solid, I'm grown. Gangsta D, all in the womb. I'll ride it, I'll ride it. Face down in the pillow, slip slide it. Don't you hide it, baby, give me all that private. Got her excited, she can't keep quiet. Shut up. And when we go out, she digging in her purse. First thing first, I'ma break Eve's curse. If worse come to worse, I throw it in reverse. If she wanna get saved, I tell her go to church. Miss Tight Skirt, she never had to work, even though you got hurt. You can get your feelings hurt, wipe the stains from your shirt. With the dicky, get you work. Choke off the Zoja curve, take a stick up a skirt, get to work. Baby, we solid, we groom. Got them naked in the upper room. Don't hide it, don't hide it. You can get loose if you show it in private. Don't hide it, don't hide it. Get loose, little mama, now ride it. Come on.
Take that shit off. Now why don't you take that shit off? And make sure she don't got that dry cough and her brain ain't lost. Stop it. Choke off this OG perp and after we start at the tip of the dude. Hey, ya burp in the backseat in the club parking lot. Crack the windows, alarm off, jerk. Wipes right then, back to work. No need to alert them folks for certain. Caught with drawers and panties down. She know it's curtains, but not for me, I got half my fee. No main line, 20 minutes to showtime. Under them hot lights, I gotta go get mine. I grind from 15 minutes to an hour performance. My endurance, long and strong and don't stop. It's rotating, recirculating and keeping it on and on and don't stop, won't stop, on and on. And if you with us, keep it moving. Damn, from analog to digital, 23 years later, and still with you though. If you didn't trip it, man, just sit and trip it though. Roll up a tight swisher or Philly, bro. If you're second, go grab a dilly dough. And you could be that silly. Welcome to the Compton Carnival, 2 big tits of fun.
And when we go out, she digging in her purse. First thing first, I'ma break Eve's curse. If worse come to worse, I throw it in reverse. If she wanna get saved, I tell her go to church. And when we go out, she digging in her purse. First thing first, I'ma break Eve's curse. If worse come to worse, I throw it in reverse. If she wanna get saved, I tell her go to church.
Hey, we are back.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Oh, okay, we back. Oh,
okay. You know, that's not right. Welcome back, you guys. We're going to get into getting to know our guest, comedian, the beautiful Carly Carr.
Yes.
Welcome, Carly.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am the happily divorced comedian Carly Carr. Yeah, I earned that title. I earned that title. Straight out of South Central all day, every day. And my comedy is raw and uncut. It's pretty much always all the truth. Y'all just laughing at my life. Amen. Right. And I've been blessed to start a tour last year that started in Hawaii, and it's going to roll through Jamaica up until next summer. So I'm very excited about that. And I'm hitting the clubs. I'm blazing the trailways. This is what I'm doing. This is my turn. Right. For real. This is why you always see me saying rebirth the Carly Carr, because this is my do-over. This is my post-divorce do-over.
Oh, wow.
It is. Okay. Yeah, that part.
Is it normal to just include your life? Does it make it easier for the comedy to include your life in the story?
Well, I mean, and I write my own material. So I would say for a comic that probably doesn't write their own material, then maybe they have no control. But nothing is funnier than real life.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
That's very true.
Nothing is funnier than real life. And it's easier for me to go from the hip, or if I have a heckler, if I'm staying real with myself. So for me, yeah, it works for me. I don't have like a dark past. My father didn't lock me in a closet, or, I never slept with a dog or nothing like that. So, yeah. So I don't have that kind of dark secrets I'm scared to tell. So I can tell y'all what happened to me in the 80s.
So how old were you when you woke up and decided you wanted to be a comedian?
After I got divorced, as a matter of fact, it was a couple of months before I officially filed for divorce.
Wow.
And Nickelodeon's America's Funniest Moms that came out. And they were going to be at the Irvine Improv. And people always say, oh, Carly, you're so funny. You should be a comedian. I'm not a comedian. I just make my family laugh at the gatherings. I'm not a comic. And my ex-husband said, yeah, nobody probably think you funny anyway.
Oh my.
Well, you want a sister to do something?
Well, there you go.
You want a sister to do something? Let a dude that you ain't feeling tell you can't do it. I wish he would have told me I could lose 15 pounds and run a marathon and win a lottery. I'd probably be a surgeon by now. Amen.
Right.
Yeah, so I never told jokes professionally before, and I auditioned, and I placed 7th out of 2,000 women, and I started getting booked ever since then. And I've been bitten by the comedy bug. I write for myself. I write for other comics.
Nice.
And it's just a blessing that's just kind of skyrocketed. You couldn't have told me this 15, 20 years ago that this is what I'd be doing.
Wow. So I know you said this is basically your natural self.
Right.
This is just who you are.
This is who I am.
But are there any type of other somewhat influences?
Well, I mean, I have comedic influence, absolutely, but I like physical comedy, like Lucille Ball, Carol Burnett. I grew up watching them.
Right.
So I always wanted my own variety show. Yeah, when I was a little girl, I used to be on the porch performing for the birds that would be on the telephone lines. And my mama was ready to send me to a psychiatrist. You know, she was like, "What is my back?" Wait a minute. I mean, I'd be out there singing Liza Minnelli, Judy Garland. You couldn't tell me nothing for like hours. So we knew something was going to go there. Either I was going to be locked up or I was going to be on stage. That's what mama would say. You gonna be in a rubber room or she gonna be on stage. So thank you, Lord, that I'm on stage.
That's so cool.
I think last time I saw you were at the Watts Coffee House?
Yep. I used to host a show there the second Sunday of every month, and then that restaurant ran through some changes. So now I've been hosting and running and just working everywhere. I'm really grateful and humble behind that. I really am, because I just invented Happily Divorced Carly Carr Comedian. I didn't go to like any comedy class, or I didn't have no hookup, somebody waiting to give me all these. Every gig I've ever gotten is on my own. Awesome. So I'm very, very proud of that. And for women in comedy, it's difficult because you get propositioned for a gig that don't even pay that much. And I'll be like, do you know what propositioning mean? Right. I mean, I'm supposed to walk away with something I didn't already have. Right. Now, if it's a $200 gig, well, I got $480 in the bank. Or what the hell I got to lay with you for $200 for? I mean, I'm just saying. And once I go to work for 2 weeks, I'm going to add some more to that. Yeah, so that part, I'm proud of myself for being known for that. So whenever I get those kind of sleazy bookers, other comics are automatically laughing when they approach me because they know I'm going to give it to them. Right. All day. I promise you. If you hear about me laying with somebody, you'll know when I roll up in a spaceship that I done made $4.8 gajillion. Yes. That maybe I did. You understand what I'm saying? But aside from that, no. I'm going to keep on rolling my Toyota that I pay for every month. I'm going to roll with that in my dignity. Me and my Toyota and my dignity will be heading down Crenshaw when we're done. You feel me? That part.
All the way.
All the way. That part. Come on now.
How is the audience like in Hawaii? And I know you're saying you have other stuff that's out of the country different than in the States.
Well, Hawaii is different because everybody was a tourist. So it was a group of people from all over the world. Wow. Like if I do a white show, I know I'm doing a white show. If I do a black show, I know I'm doing a black show, and vice versa. But in Hawaii, I mean, it was every single race you could think of because everybody was on vacation. And I loved it. And that's what a lot of comics should know. If they don't, is you have to know your crowd. Right. Definitely. You know what I mean? I could tell some of my South Central jokes, but I can't have a straight South Central set when I got people from all over the world that don't know what the hell South Central is.
Girl, I went to a show one time. I'm not going to call any names, but it was somebody was hosting in Bellflower.
Write it down. I'll say the name. No.
and this comedian, because matter of fact, it was a guy that I was with at the time. We were not dating. He was just a friend.
She wanted to clarify that, y'all.
Right? Yeah, because somebody's listening. I just want to know. I wasn't dating, but it was just a friend. Seriously. And he just took off on him the entire show. It's like, I was so upset because to me, it's like, if you are a real comedian, you shouldn't have to sit here and make your set off of one person. That means you have no freaking material.
Right. And I tell everybody, I have jokes to tell, but if you're a heckler, you want to be part of the show, I could put them to the side and it can all be about you. Right. But never have I sought out an audience member, not to insult them. Now, maybe they're laughing.
He just kept on. Like,
see, that's not really the craft. That's anybody can do that.
Was laughing after a while.
Of course not, because
old.
Yeah, and now that's all. And if that's all you got, then why are you hosting the show?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. He was pissed.
I bet he was. He didn't pay his money to get insulted.
Exactly. And he tried not to say anything because I was on the verge of saying something myself.
Wow.
You didn't.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't either. I'm surprised that wasn't on YouTube. I'm just saying.
Not to, but it's like, come on now.
Yeah.
You need to move on with that.
Yeah, that's tacky.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, for the young comedians coming up, what advice would you give them?
Number one, keep your morals first. That goes for men and women because that reputation follows you down the line. I mean, I have friends that have done things 10 years ago, and sometimes we'll get to a prominent event, and then somebody will know about what you did.
Oh, definitely.
Seriously, I mean, men gossip more than women ever could. Right. So whatever you do, they gonna tell. I don't care what nobody say. I can back that up all day. They're gonna tell. Because I know some of this, we be like, oh, I ain't telling nobody I slept with you. I'm gonna keep that on the hush. Yeah, we be like, we gonna go on and shut that up. And he's sitting here and made flyers and got a big old banner in his backyard, and he holding tours. Everybody coming by and looking at knowing you done laid with his raggedy tail. So be careful with what you do.
Definitely.
Because somebody is always going to have some. Yes, a lot of jealousy in this industry, and they jealous already for nothing. You don't even have to spiral that big. And people are just a lot of hard work. Yeah, everybody always wants to jump in on your back. Like, every time I see a comic, let me know your next show. I want to come do it with you. Okay, well, I got booked for that show.
Right.
And I worked and I promote myself. So why I need to bring somebody with me?
Right.
Huh? If I'm going to bring any cheap labor, it's going to always be my son. What's up, Jeremiah? It's going to always be my son. He's 15.
Wow.
Yeah, he's 15.
Put him to work.
All day. Are you kidding? He eat like he going to the electric chair. He got to go to work. Girl, his feet get bigger every Wednesday. Pray for me. Hold my hand. I'm talking about air. He going to have to go outside to turn around in a minute. He's 15 and he wears a shoe size.
Yeah,
he wears shoe size 14.
You know what?
Wears shoe size 14.
Wow.
James is there.
Oh, wow.
How old is that your son?
Mine is Lonnie is 16.
Okay.
I think
Missy's son.
Yeah, Missy's. Mine's a 16.
Oh no! Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, and I don't know if they're gonna ever stop. He gonna start wearing the shoe boxes in a minute. Hell, where am I gonna get the shoes that size?
Made.
Yeah, and I can't even. You can't buy shoes from Ross or on sale at that big. You got to get real shoes.
You sure do.
So either I'm gonna have to date me a Filipino that makes shoes. Do y'all know any Filipino men that make Nikes?
He said Filipino.
You know Filipino men that make some Jordans. Holla at your girl.
Hey,
because. Woo! Man.
All right.
I'm just saying. Well, you asked me. I was just telling you.
She did. She sure did.
I'm just telling you.
Can you tell us what else you have coming up and where we all can find you?
Well, you can always find me on Facebook. I have 3 pages because 2 are hacked. I got a lot of haters. Thank you, haters. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You can find me under Carly Carr. That's my current page. On Instagram under Rebirth of Carly Carr. And I'll be at the Long Beach Laugh Factory on December the 26th. Please come through and holler at your girl. It's going to be a huge show with a lot of funny comedians. Yeah, a lot of funny comedians. So please come through and holler at your girl. I am available for bar mitzvahs, divorce parties, birthday parties, prison release parties. Yo hablo español. So don't think, as long as you pay, I get them pesos. You understand what I'm saying? So please don't think that you could discriminate because Carly Carr will bring the funny to any and everybody. I don't really care what your sexual orientation is, as long as you don't want to include me, I will come and tell some jokes at your particular function. Yeah, no, I'm too tired for that. I'm too tired to be a freak. Once you get a certain age, I'm pushing 50. You understand what I'm saying? If you're looking for a freak, just go and look on by me. Because it's just some stuff I'm not going to do. I'm telling the truth. Yeah, I'm going to send them over to Hot Mom over here. Because it's just some stuff I'm not going to do. I'm not going to swing from the ceiling fan. I ain't going to climb no fence. Don't you bring your dog in the bedroom. I don't know what you think for that. I'm just talking to you.
No.
I'm not with it. And that's why I'm going to be happily divorced forever. I'm just talking to you. It's some nasty folks and they be in my inbox. I'm telling you, they nasty.
Oh, wow. We need to see those inbox. But up next, we're going to go to our next break. Next, we're going to have Second to None.
Yeah.
And Boomerdidit.
Woo!
Oh, man.
Right on Rosecrans. Yeah, stop at the store. Gangsta D and KK. Right there on Camp, huh? Gangsta D. Second enough. Now if you wanna ride, you get your ass in. And see me roll fast when we off that gin. Skating through the rain, headed for the lane. Rolling with the that can throw those things. It's like this, it's like that. D and K right back with a sack. I'm a street plus a businessman. With my money, then I kill you, man. Never been I'm a rider for show. My flow is coke, now watch me blow. This tricking is insane, reverse that. Tell a bitch it's her pleasure to meet you, bro. Mean what you say when you look in the eyes. After that, she gon' settle for the burger and fries. That ain't pimpin', that's real talk. I used to lay in my bed and let them pole vault. You know,
walking, stomping like a Compton. Truth from Campanella through the west, neighbor cedars and fruits. Now on top of Alameda Hill, past the trees. Over west and east tracks through the block to Elm Street. Still walking, sparking with my headphones on. Belling down the grass under the sunshine homes. Stopping to take a talk next to Ludus Park. Planning for progress so that we all can get apart. Another spark of the good. I'm back on the pavement. Crossed Atlantic at greatest. This is how my day went. No roll-ups on me sweating where I'm from. Now sitting in Line Park laughing at the dumb guns.
I'm a West Coast, East Coast, down south, dirty, Midwest. You see, I'm worldwide winning the big G. So leave it to the gangsta D. See hear ye, come on. You wanna get your money, get your ball. See, I don't know nothing but the hustle, money and the power, pieces to the puzzle. 4-5 cock to the side of your dome. This is serious business. Slap a bitch like Bones. What the you know about the 220? See, this money stay long and it's more to grow.
You better keep your ears open, keep your eyes open, stay aware and prepared. Don't be scared. Real life, I hate you up, man. Out here, how you crossed up. Some be wishing, not getting, they get put in position. Start crying, they complaining, oh, help me, why you caring? They lust for men, women, the fame. All the hidden genders for your pockets to drain. If you ain't with they sick game, here comes the switch up. Crying to lying, boy, you bet not mitch up. She got too much info, bad dollars equal snitch up. That dressed in the courtroom, that same. Moved to the hills, now she a rich snitch. Paying all your rallies and your homies while you stuck on lock. Scooping them up to beat that.
What's up with you, baby?
What's up for the evening?
I got a room with a jacuzzi over here and some smoke.
Long time.
Damn. I got you. What's up with it?
Later in the motel room.
Man, I know there's a bedroom, man. I've seen you on the
Yes, anything can happen. It makes a snitching and so-called trapping. Who really got your back? So many other ways.
We are back with KK from Second to None and Boomer.
Hey.
Carly Carr in the building. Now, if you guys don't know, you've been sleeping, hibernating. Y'all need. I know y'all need to know who these people are. KK, you wanna like give them something, let them know who you are.
I mean, late 80s, but professionally, 1991, Second to None, Compton.
That's
Gangsta
right.
D, I am KK.
See you, won't be to you.
Much love. We're giving it up for D in his absence, but got my son Boomer with me.
Yeah.
Peace out to Nehru, Sugar Free, and
Yes.
all our loved ones, Compton, Inglewood, the Bay.
That's right.
Santa Maria, Oxnard, Albuquerque, Arizona, Phoenix.
Oh, you everywhere.
Some places
everywhere.
we just drove from,
Wow. Thank you very much for even being here because I know you really just got back. So we're going to start off with Boomer. Won't you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started and where you're at with your music right now?
Well, I'm a producer first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Lyricist, I guess you could say. But I probably started producing like around 14.
Oh, wow.
And I just been on the rise. So now I got my own business now, my own production company. I've been producing other artists and working with other people and just expanding.
That's what's up.
Definitely. And I did listen to some, almost all of it. And it's you know, when your music was coming out in 1990, that's when we in high school, and every lyric, we know what it is to this day. Some of this music that we hear now, you can't really hear the lyrics. You hear the beat, but you can't hear the lyrics. How does your music differ from what's going on with the new music today?
Well,
come on, be honest.
For one, you're going to understand what I'm saying.
That part.
For two, it's going to be a message within what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Okay.
Definitely.
That's what's up.
So,
I love that.
and most of the time, the message is a positive one.
Good. I like that. With KK and D and Second and Nine, and they're well known everywhere, do you find yourself still in their shadows, or have you created your own lane where everybody just know who you are without saying, oh, that's KK's son?
They still do that, but people already know. Like I do my. That's why I'm not. I'm KK. It's Boomer. You know, people know that. Oh, that's Boom. That's Boom. I do my own thing. You know?
Okay, I like that.
Me too.
Okay, we had last week. I did some news on Tekashi 6ix9ine and his situation, and what he made a statement was he had to be associated in order for his music to get out there. Now, I want to know from you, because you are part of the younger generation, do you feel the pressure of having to do things that you may not be involved with just to be known?
Anything that I do, I choose to do.
Okay.
And everybody had that choice to make. If you feel that pressure, that's the weakness within you to succumb to that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or that's you wanting to do that for the exposure. And in that case, just me saying it, like, you could choose not to do that. You can go. You can say, no, I'm not. Nah, that's not my get down. I don't get down like that.
Right.
And people, that's the real people gonna respect it and let you do your thing. You know. But if you out here trying to portray something you not, and you antagonizing it, you gonna get that energy back.
Definitely.
That lets you know he was raised by an OG.
Oh, yes.
You hear what we talking about?
Oh, yes.
There ain't no foolishness coming out his mouth. I respect that.
And experience, my own experience. So, you know, it's just, it's facts.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. KK, just watching your son grow, is there anything that you see in him that you didn't have back then when you were growing up in the industry?
Well, growing up in the industry, coming from a teenager to the early 20s, the opportunities and the avenues that their generation have, we didn't have, and it wasn't easy. As our come up in our era, in that generation that we came up in the late 80s and early 90s, you actually had to work, and you couldn't just get in wherever the case, the party, the studio, the bar, the liquor store. You couldn't just get in that easy.
Right.
You actually had to have a skill, some actual talent, be able to converse with someone with some intelligence.
Right.
You know, talk to somebody, look them in their eyeball, be honest, and somewhat in our black community, keep your word.
Come on now.
Right.
You know, have some heart.
Yeah.
Say what you said. Mean it. Back it up.
Right.
That's right.
Forget all that keeping it real. I'm 100. No, you don't. You look 35.
Right.
Keeping it 100. Keep 100 in my pocket too.
Right.
Right.
When you got your 100, clear the way so I can get mine.
Right.
Definitely. Okay. Because we have two errors here. I want you to define what hip hop means to you. And then when you're done, I want you to define what hip hop means. So we got two different ones.
Okay.
And I want you to define what hip hop means to you.
All right. Coming from a 47-year-old Compton.
Right.
Original West Coast. And I'm not going to say artist or rapper. But out of the respect for hip hop, because that's them 5 boroughs in the East Coast in New York.
Right.
That's not even Staten Island and all of them in New Jersey. That's hip hop is that culture, just like Bloods and Crips is culture in the West Coast.
Right.
Hip hop is New York, the state, and the 5 boroughs, and that culture with Herc and them and all of the African Baba. That's them.
Okay.
we was rapping and doing the stuff at the same years, and they was doing them in the 80s. We was doing the same stuff except windmilling, and we didn't collectively put everything together. Let's put blood in the Crippin' and Mexican and Samoan and Tongan and Asian Pacific, and we're gonna call it Crippin' Roo-Hop.
right. Okay.
And you got to know how to red rag it, blue rag it, do artwork and pop lock and DJ and MC. See, we didn't do that collectively in one bowl like they did hip hop. Now, in the 80s, the West Coast and different regions of the United States respected hip hop because that's the only realm that we had.
Right.
But some people forgot we was doing this. That's them.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So when it comes to hip hop, I was rapping. I was a street reporter like Ice Cube and the rest of us in the late 80s. Okay. We were reporting reality and what we were going through from the streets and from our black male perspective, what we were dealing with the police at the time and, all of the racist stuff and, the drug epidemic that hit. Right. And trying to come out of that in the gang stuff and let the world know, hey, it's not just all about that. It's families out there. It's live. We have fun. We smile. It ain't all about all that. Right. And that's kind of what led to our music coming out. Okay. It's another side of life here. We smile. It's clean streets. People pick up trash. Right. We wash dishes. We don't leave stuff on the plate. You know what I mean? Yeah, my feet don't stink when I come home after work. But just keeping it straight up, Right. It's two sides of every story. So it's just, that's hip-hop. And for some of the youngsters and for those that's older that don't know, to get caught up in social media today and back in the day, MTV and, all of this stuff, remember where you came from.
Right.
Definitely.
And stay home to that. Stay home to that because that's what makes you. And the distinctive traits and characteristics and what East Coast, West Coast, dirty, Midwest, and that style and flavor. A lot of people in this nation got lost. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They forgot where they came from, their culture, their essence, and their character. Right. That you could tell that's some West Coast music. I could tell that's hip-hop. Right. I could tell that's trap music, which sounds like the original Bay Area music, converted down because the Bay was cracking in Atlanta. Right. Atlanta's transplant, the colleges and all the blacks. Midwest, Bay, the Northeast, everybody go to college. Big cesspool party. Yeah. So, out of that, leave Atlanta sound in Atlanta. And Cali got their sound. New York has hip hop, and it's a distinctive. It's separated, but I respect hip hop because that was Run DMC, Fat Boys, Curtis Blow, all the originals and stuff. No disrespect to Jay-Z or Puffy and them, but Puffy was there in the beginning, and respect on that level, but. You look at all the artists out there today, original West Coast, they don't even know who Spade is, King T. Yeah. Toddy T. Right. Tone Loc, Young MC. I even go as far back. It's so many K that, not just Def Casper. Do y'all even remember Def Casper?
Yeah, some of them don't.
Song called Traffic.
Right.
Get back, stick to your roots, and bring up the roots from here. Everybody praising, want to be OG. We'll stick back to it because I remember on the West Coast, we can count from San Diego to the state of Washington with Mix-a-Lot at how many artists were on the West Coast, period.
Right. Yeah. You sure could.
From late 80s to 91.
Wow.
Early 92. Ooh. You can count how many West Coast artists it was.
Wow.
And we didn't have social media.
Definitely. Yeah, there was no social media.
Hand to hand, word of mouth.
Yeah. Exactly. And that's where the hard work came in. You had to do
had to be out there.
The respect for the culture was, you just knew, you felt it. And individuals, when they had their music and selling their their tapes out the back of their car and stuff like that.
30 tapes in the box.
Exactly.
$10 a tape.
Right.
Too short. 40, second to none.
That part.
Exactly. All right, we're going to go to our next break. And when we come back, we're going to finish off with Second to None and Boomer.
Gaper. 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 Gaper.
Money on my mind and my mind on my paper. I be on the grind all the time for that paper. Riding in my scraper, same color as Shaper. See a bad bitch, but I ain't about to chase her.
Long time in the game from work and rap. Paper. Southwest Cali, Compton nigga, no faker. Only time for purple switches in the Lakers. Betting on the playoff, bring all your paper.
I do my thug dizzle on the grind for that paper. Catch me on the block smoking green, getting paper. Got a few bros that like to strip for that paper. And got an OT about to stack up that paper.
Better watch your girl, she keep looking, I'ma take her. I'ma take her to my spot and I ain't gon' have to rape. Nope, never been my style, all girls chase. And if she too loud, I'ma have to duct tape her.
Early morning and late night for the KK. Captain Courageous, pulling capers. Got time invested, going for my paper. Roadblocks, niggas hating, still
get your bread up if you all about that. Paper. Ride with the stomachs on, pocket full of paper. Wave to the haters, still mad, I'm counting paper. Boomerdidit the track, now we all getting paper.
Never chase a trick, cause I always chase paper. They be on my stick because a nigga got paper. In the streets hustling, young paper chaser. Not the NBA, but I'm ballin' like a player.
I just look like this, but I'm way by my paper. Through this song, it won't take long to shape her. Gotcha, let the rhythm take her. All the way from the spot to the bank to get that paper.
Do it real big, front row at the Staples. Got me a cougar chick, white girl Mabel. Just hit a lick, spread the money on the table. Hooked it with the click, now we all got paper.
Music on blast, I don't care about the neighbors. They don't understand how it is to chase paper. In the studio, going hard on you fakers. Finna hit the club, do a show again.
Longevity, that's what it be with me and paper. Save up, player, don't go spending all your KK's no whole saver. I won't draper, never that shit is whack. I keep my paper.
From rags to riches, shopping sprees overseas. Iced out, pieces bad bitches hawking me. When I'm in the streets, make connects like the mayor. Hustle for the love, campaign for the
Let's play some good old music.
Right. I'm trying to increase my yaper. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to double my assets in yapers. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, we're going to finish up this last segment. And I want to know where you are doing your performances. I know you've been traveling all over. What do you have coming up next?
Next, it's kind of in between off of this little, speaking on earlier, because we Second to None, we're a self group.
Right.
In order to get our shows, it has to come through me or D. We don't have an agent and all that. We've been doing this for the past decade.
Yeah. Yes. That's what's up.
Managing ourselves and all of that. So, looking forward to hopefully getting on one of these West Coast cats as the representatives of the West Coast.
Right.
Hopefully to get Second to None on a tour, because we haven't been on a tour.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Right.
West Coast artists out there. Now these spot dates. So that's what is going on with me. Not pressing, because I can't press nobody, but I can send out a message like, why hasn't Second to None been on some of these prominent tours? Right. We can do more than 2 dates, spot dates, like how you were saying.
Yeah.
For us to be prominent figures, for us to come out of all the New York OGs and Atlanta OGs' mouths, and everybody on Vlad, why we not on that show? Why we not on that tour?
Right.
these past decade. Other than that, February 20th, which is 2/20/2019, second to none. We're going to be slapping you upside the head with something. So in between now and then, look forward to KK, March 12th, my birthday.
Okay.
I'll be 48, so I expect my birthday present with my first album that I've been sitting on because, I've been waiting for this moment because some of the subject matter go right with the time.
That's right.
Nice. We need it.
I've been sitting on that album for some years, but it's right on point.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah, working with Boomer in the production.
That's what's going on. Anything?
Well, I just put an EP out. I put a compilation out not too long before that, and I'm just working into this new year, getting preparing for the new year, setting it up.
Okay. Anybody you working with right now as far as beats and producing?
Don't get it twisted.
And I'm smashing, so y'all better get y'all eardrums ready.
The Yarders.
And your heart.
The Yarders. And that's, it's a handful of people.
Okay, that's cool. For the young artists that are coming up, is sometimes they feel like they have to put out the worst stuff just to be seen, or just do some music that you can dance to with no substance. What would you want to tell them so that you can put out some good stuff and somebody's going to follow you? It don't always have to be trash.
I'm going to reference second to none on this one. Be true to yourself.
That part.
Period. Be true to yourself.
Is there anything you would say, KK?
I mean, to back that up is... wow, I can't really beat that, but tell the truth.
Yeah.
And live the truth.
Yeah, that's a rarity.
And live in color.
Goodness. Okay, we always ask this last question, and we ask it to each artist. With you guys out there being in the spotlight, even on social media, and it seems like everybody feels like they know you. Mm-hmm. Is there one thing that they don't know that you would want them to know about you?
Me personally, or
both of you guys? The group, you as an individual?
Okay, well, one thing personally, there's no disrespect to anybody, but we were never, second to none as a group, were never discovered by anybody, first of all. So let's that's what I want all our fans to know, because most of our fans been lied to or deceived. Nobody ever discovered second to none. Okay. That's God first. It's two of us. It's cousin, because D is my cousin.
Exactly.
It's two of us, it makes sense. We're not better than nobody. We put God first. Right. Second to no man. You know what? Second to none.
Right. I like that.
And that was, and if you really want to know somebody or get the truth about them, you can walk with me from Rosecrans to the beach, all the way down to La Mirada, and ask anybody's junior high school counterparts and high school counterparts. How were they before they got famous?
Right.
You can walk with me and ask them. Look at me. It speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's almost 30 years. Almost 30 years, people. You hear that? So look at me, hear it, watch us all, go online at Second to None, CPT and all that. Check out our shows, performances. And we still cracking.
You are.
And
Definitely.
sound like ourselves without rapping over our lyrics.
That part.
Just like you hear me live and clear now. It's just like the record from the 80s.
Definitely.
That's what's up.
So I want to tell us where we can find you guys before we head on out. Give us y'all plug.
Well, I was going to say Boomerdidit.com, but all my stuff is consistent. Boomerdidit on whatever your social media is. The hub is Boomerdidit.com. BOOMERDIDIT.com.
Yes, indeed.
And where can we find you, KK?
At Second to None CPT.com and everything else that flows after that, as well as the social media thing. Boomer set up.
Yeah, black ass KK.
Yeah. That's right.
With Z's.
BLAKKAZZ.
Okay.
Dash KK. Black.
Wow.
Whether you like me, oh hey black. I can't stand no black ass nigga. So,
Right. Either
way, I'm still gonna be me and not some Italian or Jewish or some other fictionary.
That part.
Yeah, made up. I'm still me.
Yeah, you definitely. I know I've done a couple of events, And every time I've ever had to reach out to you, you've always been so open and be like, whatever you want, let me know. I'm going to see if I can clear the schedule. So I do want to say I appreciate you for everything that you do and for the community, because we do follow you. Even though the lyrics are something else, we own it.
Right.
Anytime you ever hear it, we sing it every verse. Every verse.
Thank you.
So we appreciate you for that, man. We know we had a guest last week, and the music that has been played when we were growing up, we needed it. Because through high school, it was just us. We didn't have cell phones.
Right.
Our moms was like, just be home by the lights. Come on, y'all just need to be home. Right. And we had our friends. We stuck together. We protected one another. And the music, we were just living in a way that we were safe. But we were brought up on Second to None. And like Troop from last week, and it actually helped us grow. Right. Because the music that they're talking about now is either you having some sex with multiple people, or you doing drugs, or
you don't want to necessarily grasp that message.
Exactly. Right. So we have fun. We dance to your music, and we, talk to one another about certain things that were going on. So I want to thank you for that, because it did help us as we grew up. And I don't want to tell my age, but that's what it was.
Girl, be proud of your age. We grew up with realness and discipline. Right. I'm pushing 50. I appreciate that. For real.
Yes. We appreciate the love, too, and accepting that. That's what we pushed instead of pushing. I'm from East Side, Compile Rule something,
Right.
When everybody already knew that. That wasn't the point.
It was like a bulletin or nothing.
Yeah. We do other stuff. Like have fun and laugh and pay bills and take care of kids.
Yeah,
say that.
They tend to want to point out the negative and then forget about the positive that goes on. So we Missy K. Loose Lips have to point out the positive in what we do here and the people that we bring on, because we select certain people that we know bring positive to our community and to what we're doing. So, again, thank you for that. And we have like 2 more minutes. You already told us what you were doing, but you also are going to Jamaica.
Yeah, I'm going to Jamaica next year, the week of my birthday. Thank you. I'll be at the Sandals Resort.
Oh, wow.
And I'm really excited to go. And I'm going to have some of my girlfriends. I'm excited just to perform there. It's going to be just a blessing. I've never been, but just that platform to get my name out there. And maybe I could tell them I'll bring a special musical guest with me or something. I'm all about networking and sharing the wealth for real. I grew up with 4 older brothers, so I just grew up different. So I feel the love just right here. So I'm not playing. I really mean that. We'll make sure we exchange information before we go, because if we can go out there and shut something down, and we could keep getting invited over and over again. That's how it used to be back in the days. Each one pull one.
Exactly.
And I'm just old school with mine. I'm all about that. I'll share the wealth in a minute. If it's not room for us all to eat, I don't want to come to your table no way.
Right. Because it is definitely enough room for it.
It's enough room for the other races. I'm just talking to you.
Right.
It is. I have some Italian friends, and their parents help them. Everybody got a plan to help their kid get a house. Why we can't get that too?
Exactly.
Yeah, I want it too. Let's get it too.
Exactly. We definitely can. We got to set that in motion, though.
We do.
For those who want it, because everybody that I sat at this table was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So we need to get together.
We need to get together.
We want to do it, so we definitely can do that. So I'm going to end it with here. Again, thank you so very much. And it was definitely a pleasure to meet you, Boomer. All right. And having you again, Carly Carr.
Thank you, girl.
This is your girl. And Missy K.
We miss you, Missy.
Catching our Missy K. Loose Lips show. And we are out, and we will see you next week.
Out.
Peace.
Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Missy K Show. Questions, interviews, gossip, current news, movie, TV, radio. Here we go. Hey, hey, Missy K. Hey, deep Missy K. Her beauty and passion. Talk music, passion. Loose lips.